Hello, everyone. I'm running a little behind, so you get to watch me get ready for a few minutes. I hope everyone is having a good Friday. We will do the official opening babble as soon as I can get that daughter of mine online. She's waiting. She sent me a message because I was in the middle of working, and she's like, "Are you gonna send me a link? Are you gonna send me a link? What's going on? Am I getting ready for nothing?" No, you're not getting ready for nothing. But silly me, I decided to try to work right up until the deadline to go on. And I didn't have all my stuff ready. I should have had all my stuff ready before I sat down to do some actual work. Speaking of which, how about I minimize all my business? Because it doesn't need to be up here now, does it? Let's see. Let's wait for that girl of ours. Let's see. Okay, let's get up the list so that we know what we are talking about. Today will probably be a short one because this is the first Friday of the month, and I know that Artemis slash Maya has things to do on the first Friday of the month. So I'm getting my list together. Ooh, looks like there's some comments up here in the corner. Let's see what we've got. Angry Birds Gaming. Oh, somebody new. Don't know who you are, but welcome, welcome, welcome. I am doing well. I am doing well. I'm a little discombobulated because I got started late, but other than that, I am doing well. I am currently listening to the Atomic Age Cocktail Party, which I'm going to turn off after Artemis gets here. Hello, Ari. Nice of you to drop in. Just waiting for Artemis, and then we can get things properly started. These are my two visitors today, which is very nice. Okay. I've been listening to a lot of um, mid century music for the past week. That just seems to be my mood today. This week, I've been listening to a lot of it's a lot of like Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, all that kind of stuff. Yes, Ari, you are my timekeeper. I know it's time to start if you're here. I am finishing off my coffee, just regular old instant, but I put it in the it's so hot. I didn't drink coffee yesterday, and I ended up with an awful headache that I woke up with because I'm a long time coffee drinker, so I've got to have my caffeine. If I skip a day, and I drank tea because I had seen something online that had said the Lipton teas had, yes, I've got beverages all around me today because it's hot. But I had read something that said the Lipton teas were 55 milligrams for that bottle. So I thought, okay, I can drink that ice cold instead of having the hot coffee, and that should take care of my caffeine needs. But then, but then, I noticed later that there's only 22 milligrams of caffeine in that bottle, and that no, that's why I woke up with a headache. So so I took some ibuprofen this morning to get rid so the headache is mostly gone, but I made sure to drink some coffee, but it's still too hot. I prefer my if I I'm not a snob about coffee necessarily, but instant coffee, I prefer to drink hot. If I'm going to drink um turn music down a little bit. If I'm going to drink um like cold brew or something like that. I prefer to do regular brewed coffee, either cold brew in the fridge or brewed through the coffee pot, and then put ice in it or cool it in the fridge or whatever. This time I just did instant because I didn't think ahead to make cold brew. So I did instant and put it in the freezer to cool down. So it doesn't taste great, but as long as it meets my caffeine needs, I hope it'll be sufficient. Besides that, I've got the rest of my Lipton Georgia peach tea, which is not bad. I'll put that over there because if I put it by my laptop, all the hot air blows out the side of this laptop, and it'll be a hot tea in a minute, which I don't want. And then on top of that, my son has decided that since a woman of a certain age, that I am lacking in electrolytes because I am supposedly dehydrated. So he's been bringing me these little electrolyte flavor packets to put in my water. So that's why I have the shockingly blue water to go along with everything. Okay. Oh, so I see, Ari, you're not my timekeeper. You are Artemis's timekeeper since she has to be out of here on time for the first of the month. I gotcha. I don't know where she is. She just sent me a message saying, "Are you ready? I'm waiting for you." So I just sent her the link, and now she has abandoned me. Let me type her a little message because I can only vamp so much. I'm not very good at the vamping, as they say. Let's see. Where's my notes for this? Google Keep has been very helpful in keeping notes. I'm glad that she found it because it is very helpful. Has anybody, while we're waiting for her, has anybody tried Threads yet? As I was discussing with Maya, I got rid of my Twitter. I was a long time Twitter person. I started, I was, well, let me rephrase that. I was an early adopter to Twitter as far as I got an account early on when people could only do it texting from their phones and people talked about what they had for breakfast and it just felt like you were texting back and forth with your group of friends back then. But I stopped using Twitter on a regular basis once like all the businesses and comedians and everything got into it and then it felt like there was no place there for me. I felt I felt like I wasn't professional enough or funny enough or whatever. It wasn't a place where people were just, talking about what they had for breakfast anymore. So I stopped. And every once in a while I would go back and try to see, well, maybe if I like cleared out my whole, list of people I was following and start fresh, maybe it would be easier. But no, it just never fit me anymore. So you know, when Twitter came under new ownership, I already wasn't using it that much. But when Twitter came under new ownership, I finally decided, okay, I really need to go ahead and delete my Twitter account because I'm really not using it that much anyway. And I don't necessarily want to be associated with it under the new ownership. And so I deleted and I thought because people were all up in arms when Elon Musk bought it and was doing all these crazy things. So I thought surely that I was going to that everybody it was going to be a mass exodus, everybody was going to leave, but no, people like a train wreck, so everybody stayed for a while. But now with threads, I think maybe there will finally be a mass exodus, but I signed up for it, but it's still a little difficult for me to understand because you can't really narrow it down to just the people you follow. So right now it's just a big old mess. but I see that Artemis is there and she's looking pretty good. So let's go ahead and get her lovely face in here. Okay, let me put my hand
Hello.
so we can do the official open because I've been vamping. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Friday Coffee Klatsch. My name is Dani,
And I am Artemis or Maya.
and this is the place where we keep you company. It's like the mukbang without the food. We keep you company while you do your laundry. We talk about life, yarn, everything else in that order. And we're just a little background noise to keep you company. Today should be a short one today because Artemis has things that she needs to do. So why don't we just go ahead and get this show on the road?
Uh yeah, sorry. I was like, oh, it gave me the notification for the first time, like, oh, connect to the chat so that you can chat in the thing. So I don't have to open YouTube in a separate thing because we're on StreamYard. But it's like, check your phone. We just sent you a notification. And I'm like, oh my goodness, we're doing a bunch of stuff right now. I thought it was
What
just
are
gonna be
you
click and connect to my Google.
what are you talking about?
It
I don't
in the chat. Well, you're logged in on your StreamYard, so you're able to go in and just chat like normal. If I wanted to chat in the chat, had to like open YouTube on my phone to chat.
Oh. Oh. But now it sent you something different?
Yeah, it gave a little notification at the bottom that was like, "Oh, join the chat and just log into your YouTube and connect it." And I'm like, "Okay." And so I went to open it because my YouTube's connected to my Google because everything's connected to Google. And so I
Mhm.
went to open it, and it's like, "Okay, so we just sent a notification to your phone to confirm that it's here, and also you're gonna have to put in your password, and also you're." And I'm like, "This is far too much. We're already in the middle of a live stream. We are already there, so we'll see how that goes." That's working in the background.
Okay, I find myself sitting here checking out threads. I'll have to do that later. I was
I have
talking
not looked at
I
it
was
yet. Isn't that the one? Don't you need a like invitation code or something to be on Threads right now?
no,
Or
I
am I
just
thinking of a
I
different one?
well, I downloaded it and it just let me download it right away. But then when I went to the help section to get more information about it, it was like, okay, not it Threads is not available to everybody right now. So maybe other
Oh,
people
okay.
get it. I don't know. It's not like my Instagram account has a lot of followers or has been around for a while. So I don't know what the deal is. The afro is already looking luscious. You don't need to keep playing with it.
Well, it was like flattened in a weird way. You know how like your afro doesn't quite show up on camera the way that it does in person. It was
Uh-huh.
like flattened
Uh-huh.
in a weird way from my bonnet. But also, look, I put in two little braids. I did two little braids on the side.
So cute.
They got little beads.
So cute. The afro is looking gorgeous. Oh, I need to turn off the music. Sorry. Can you hear the music?
I can.
Okay. Well, I had the music on while I was vamping, but it's time to turn the music off now.
Also, it refused to let me connect to my chat.
Okay.
I'm just gonna
There
have
we
to talk to y'all in person.
go.
I'm not
Okay.
dealing with this today.
There's no time for it. Okay. So, first thing, life update. CEUs are done. Yay. Yay! For those who are new or don't know, I am a medical coder. Well, let me phrase that. I am currently a medical biller. I took the test for medical coding. So I have my certification with an apprentice on the end of it, which means I don't have quite enough experience to have the full certification. But at any rate, to keep even that apprentice and not have to retake the 5-hour test that costs $300 to take. I have to make sure I keep my continuing education units up to date. So it's not a terrible hardship. I have to turn in like 36 what they call CEUs every 2 years. So now that I'm done for this section, that means I don't have to turn them in again till 2025. So I have 36. I have to get 36 of them between now and July of 2025, which is very doable. So, and I can mostly do them for free. I don't have to really pay for any classes or anything to do them. If I do them, the organization which I have to pay dues for, which the dues have gone up again, it's like $250 now. But it's once a year and it keeps my certification. And this is one of those certifications where no one will hire you for this job if you do not have it. So
Ah,
I got lucky that the people I am working for now, I mean, you either have to have somebody who, which like in my case, my best friend, her employer took me on even before I had my certification because she knew that I was in the process of it and I was like just a few months away from taking my test. So she went ahead and took me on. But most places, like if you go to work for a hospital or whatever, they're not going to take you on until you have passed the test. Period. And if you let your membership lapse, then that means you no longer have the certification and they won't hire you. It's not like you had the certification once, but you let it lapse. No, you have to have a current.
you have to keep it updated the entire
You have to
time.
keep it updated the entire time, or else they won't hire you. So it's one of those things where even though I currently have the job, I don't know if, something, because like there was a lot more work. This is a small independently owned company. It's not like, big, like I'm working for a hospital or whatever. So there was lot more work um before the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
And because a lot of what was being done was like cosmetic type surgery, and all of that fell off once the pandemic hit and it has not come back. So I am just doing the basic billing work. I'm not really getting to do much of the coding work or whatever. But if the basic billing work disappears too, then I'm gonna have to find a job somewhere else. So
Mm-hmm.
I have to keep my certification up,
Updated just in case.
updated, just in case something happens and I have to. I mean, I my intention was to keep this job until I retire because I don't want to have to interview anymore.
Yeah.
But if something happens, then I need to keep my certification. So CEUs are done, and
Yay.
they make you take a gap. So I can't even start working on the next 36 until August 1st.
Ah,
So,
that's a bummer.
well, not really. I mean, they're not due till 2025, and
They're
they make you
they're
take a
not, but
month.
if you could do them
I'm
ahead of time
Yeah, but I'm ready to
to be done.
to be done, to not think about them for a little while. So I'm not
Mm-hmm.
even going to think about them until the family after the family vacation in September. Because every time I would do something, I would feel like, well, I should be working on my CEUs. Because it takes like at least an hour, either taking an hour long class, going to an hour long seminar, whatever. It takes at least an hour to earn one CEU.
Mm-hmm.
So, whenever I'm doing something, I feel like, well, that's an hour that I could have been working on my CEUs.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad to not have the guilt of, well, I'm knitting, but I should be working on my CEUs. I'm coloring, but I should be working on my CEUs.
I
You
feel
know,
that
so I don't have to think about that until after after vacation.
after the vacation. Yeah,
After the vacation. Okay. So are we just going straight down the list?
it is
So
up
the
to
next,
you.
okay, we're going straight down the list. Next one, which is not really a big deal, but I work from home and I never leave the house. So on the life update, there's not a whole lot to talk about, people. So the excitement for this week was I made the cheat lime pie.
What
I don't
is
know.
this? I saw this on the list and I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, I don't know. You probably don't follow this guy on TikTok, but I forget what his name is. It's his first initial B something something. He does
Which
all
guy
these.
is he? What is his bit? What is his bit?
Okay. He does all of these. I've probably sent you some of the recipes. He does the vintage recipes. Mostly he mostly does baking. He doesn't do like savory foods or anything. He
Is
does
he
the
the really
baking.
like kind of thin guy that has the like
Yes.
coiffed
Yes.
like hair?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, yeah, I can picture him. I know who you're talking about. I don't
Yes.
follow him, but I know who you're talking about.
But he let me see if I can bring his name up because now it's going to bother me.
Hmm.
Um, but anyway, a few weeks ago, one of the recipes he did was from 1979. It was called the cheat lemon pie, where it's
Mm-hmm.
just like three ingredients. And I've seen some other people on TikTok. B. Dylan Hollis is his name.
Yes.
B. Dylan Hollis. And I've seen a few other people do it. And so I saw somebody do it with lime instead of lemon, and I like kind of a key lime pie, so I thought, okay, this will be fun. So I'll go ahead and do that. So I finally got around to doing it, and it is very tasty.
Is
It is
it?
yes, it is very tasty. It is basically like he said, three ingredients. You do
Ooh, not you pulling up the video.
you do sweetened condensed milk, which I have never used sweetened condensed milk for anything.
The only thing we use it
Um,
for is snow cream.
I've never used sweetened condensed milk for anything because I am just, you know how I am with like certain goopy white foods, they kind of gross me
Yes.
out. So this kind of grosses me out, but I scraped it into the bowl anyway. And um thawed frozen lemonade.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So thawed frozen lemonade. You pour that
Mm-hmm.
in with the can of sweetened condensed milk and the container of Cool Whip. You fold
Mm-hmm.
that in. And then you pour it into I miscalculated. I forgot the part where he said you pour it into two pie shells. So
Ooh, just
I had bought
dump the whole
one
thing into one.
no, I had bought one pack of mini pie shells,
Oh.
6 mini pie shells, so then I which basically is the equivalent of 1 pie shell. So
Uh-huh.
then I had a wh enough for a whole other pie shell, so I just poured it into the pie shell without the crust because I have a pie pan, a glass pie
Oh
pan.
yeah.
So I poured it into the glass pie pan without the crust, and I've been eating it. I don't even know what it tastes like with the crust because I've been eating it like it's ice cream out
Oh,
of
that's
the
funny.
other one. And it's very tasty. I would try it again maybe with the lemon because with the lime, it has you know how lime is slightly more bitter than lemon?
Mm-hmm.
This limeade has a slight bite to it, which when I'm drinking it is fine because we buy that limeade just to drink. That's the one reason I made the thought to make it because we happen to buy
The frozen
limeade
limeade.
from frozen limeade regularly anyway, and it but when and it tasted fine when I mixed it up and tasted it out of the pan, but then when it was frozen, the slight bitterness
Came
the
out.
it not enough to make you not want to eat it, but enough that you're not going to eat a big old thing of it. You're going to eat like
Mm-hmm.
a small section of it. So last night was the second time I ate it, and I ate it with I happened to have some frozen dark cherries in my
Oh, I feel like if I like
freezer.
cherries, that would be good.
So I thawed the cherries in the microwave, which so that made them put out a little bit of juice, and then put the the frozen lime bit in there with the cherries. It was so good. It
Mm-hmm.
was so good. Probably gonna have that for my nighttime snack again tonight because that was so tasty.
Mm-hmm.
So and simple because you
I
just
might
mix
try that
up
because
the
there's
fruit, the
a
crust.
there's a potluck coming up for the Mars Hill Farmers Market. I'm still trying to decide if I want to go or not because you know me, I don't eat people's food. As Lacey
Mhm.
Mosley says from Scam Goddess, I don't eat house food. I don't eat people's house food. So it's potlucks are not really a good place for me because I'm picky, and if I'm not,
I really need to listen to Scam Goddess because she used to come. The only reason I know about Scam Goddess is that she used to be a regular guest on another podcast I listened to called The Daily Zeitgeist. That's how I
yeah,
heard of her. And then she announced that she was having, her own podcast and whatever. But she hasn't guested on Daily Zeitgeist in a while, and I miss her. So I guess I should go listen to her podcast to see what she's talking about.
Ari said lies, you ate my house food. If I know exactly what's in it, that's why like I'll eat friends' house food sometimes because I need to know what is in the food. I need to know how it is prepared and what goes into it and everything. Because sometimes people will just be like throwing an extra little secret ingredient and they're like, that's a secret ingredient, that's what makes it good. And I'm like, that's a secret ingredient that might make me freak out and I don't want to eat it. So I need to know how you are preparing your food. But you can't really ask that in polite company of, hey, how did you make this? What all did you put in here?
Yeah, because then people might get offended, and you
Mm-hmm.
don't want people to get offended.
But I'm still trying to decide if I want to go to the potluck. And if I do, I almost certainly will bring dessert because that's what I always bring is dessert to potlucks and stuff.
Well, as long as the potluck's not outside, because it's kind of hot.
You're telling me it's been upwards of 82 degrees for the last week.
You see me still wiping my face.
Yeah. I normally today's First Friday. Normally I go to First Friday and I try to dress kind of fantasy fae. I'm going in this shirt, which is covered in pictures of trout and shorts.
Well, you see me showing my clavicles again today.
For shame.
I
For
was
shame.
wondering when you were going to comment on that.
You heathen. I did not realize my mother was a woman of the night. This is the second time in a row that I have seen you. Your shoulders and your clavicles are revealed to God and the world. And for shame.
That's so funny that you say that, especially since the book I'm reading right now is taking place in Georgian England. So it's all the, you know. Okay, so I made the cheat lime pie. Tell us your life updates, ma'am.
Okay, so I'm gonna start with a little bit of what I'm doing right now. So I'm about to be putting on makeup. You saw I stripped off my makeup because that was my leftover makeup from last night working because I fully just fell asleep in it. I was exhausted.
Shame.
Yep, you're showing your clavicles. I sleep in my makeup. Um, so I stripped that off and I'm gonna put on because that was also like more dark, heavy, like sort of gothic style makeup, and I don't want to scare the children. So I'm going to put on some lighter, brighter makeup today. So I will be doing that while we're doing stuff. Also, for some reason, part of the reason I was late today was for some reason, got it in my mind that I wanted to put on some fake nails yesterday. So I've got on,
I thought about it yesterday too. Are those press-ons?
yes, they are
What brand did you get?
Kiss.
That's the brand your sister recommended to me. That's what I got too.
They were just I happened to walk past the aisle while I was at Ingles and I was like, ooh, I should put on some nails. So they've got
So,
rhinestones on the index and then like one rhinestone on each pinky. Let me turn the light off here. Maybe you can see them. There we go. That's more true to color.
so how are they doing for you? How you feeling? You put those on. When did you put those on?
I put those on actually this morning.
So you haven't had a whole lot of time to work with them.
No, but I slept in them.
Oh, you
And
slept in
they all stayed on. Yeah, but I also I took the time and I took the nail file and buffed my natural nail down to make sure that they had something to kind of grippy to, and I made sure I had the right size, and because my nails are always the base is wide enough, but then once it gets up to where the edge of my natural nail would be,
them.
it's too wide for the fake nail, and so it sticks out of the side of the fake nail. So I went through and held up the fake nail to see how wide it was and clipped all the little edges of my natural nail so that it would adhere completely to the thing. And I made sure that I used enough glue and spread it across my whole nail. And I took time because I did not want these to fall off right
So
away.
did yours have adhesive and glue? Because I was watching somebody on TikTok and which reminded me, oh yeah, I have those nails I should put on,
Yeah,
and she was talking about how you put like a you she your sister said the same thing, the whole thing about sanding this down, and then there was like a clear adhesive
like tab.
sticker, like a sticker, yeah, like a tag
Yeah,
that you
mine
stick on
have.
here, and then put the glue in the nail.
See, mine have the tabs. They on the box it says either use the tabs or the glue,
That's the
and
box that's what my box said, but everybody I've
does
seen on
everybody say do
TikTok and stuff,
both?
they do both if you want them to really stay on.
Okay, see, I didn't know that people were saying to do both because I don't so much follow the nail girlies other than the ones that are doing just
Mhm.
the ridiculous art on fake nails that they sell.
Oh, I
Um,
don't follow the nail girlies, but I follow the plus size ladies who also happen I follow
oh,
them for
who?
their fashion, but they
Yes.
also happen to do their hair and their nails and everything else.
Hmm. Yeah, I just have not seen anybody talking about nail stuff, so I have not seen. I did not know. So I've tried the tabs on their own before and did not like them because they like I've had like they peeled up what felt like almost instantly, and
Mm,
so I decided to just do the glue, and so I just made sure that I put enough glue on my nail bed, put enough glue on the actual nail itself, and adhered it, and they feel pretty locked in.
okay. Yeah, the girls that I've seen on TikTok are saying like they use the tabs and the glue and they can, keep their nails on for 3 weeks. So,
I might do that next time because this is like these. I got these kind of on a whim, and these are not necessarily my favorite color. I don't know how I feel about this color
I
on my
I
skin tone.
I like those. I like those. But I
You
have to
do?
admit I have to admit I am biased because um my mother, when she would paint her nails, she always painted her nails a pearl white. And
Mm-hmm.
so my instinct when I go to do nails is to want to paint my nails a pearl white because
Mm-hmm.
that's what she always did. I don't know why I it just feels classy to me,
Mm-hmm.
the pearl white.
Oh, if you thought I was going for classy, absolutely not. Absolutely. I usually gravitate towards the
But I
darker
mean, I
colors, so
think
I like the.
it goes well with your skin color is what I'm
You
saying.
you do okay because
Yeah.
it just felt because I know that I have like kind of pinkish undertones, and so it
Mhm.
like it
Yeah,
felt
I think it goes well with your skin color.
okay. Ours says pearl white is classy.
Yes.
Well, I usually stick to darker colors. So I'll usually have like a black or a dark blue, dark plum,
Mhm.
something like that.
So what else is
But
going on, ma'am?
okay.
Because
So
when we get to what's playing, I got a long
yeah, you have a long
AF
list.
I've got a long
I
AF list. So,
I have discovered the flaw in our little plan here of only talking about one section each week. And that flaw is because I'm getting ready for all of these markets and things, I have not played a single game.
well,
Other than D&D, I have not played a
I thought you
single
might
game.
not I thought you might not have played anything. I have a long list. So,
So I will talk to you about your list, but I have not played a single thing. Um, so I we will start with some shenanigans and we'll round it out with some good news. At work 2 days ago, I'm at work and I'm talking to the older ladies at work, and there's the one lady who I'm like, oh, I now know the person that I cannot tell my business to because she will tell everybody, right?
mhm.
And she's just this old there's two old Southern white ladies. One of them seems more, a bit more intolerant to things than the other. The other one seems more like understanding, accepting, like everybody kind of do their own thing, whatever.
Mhm.
Um, so um, imagine, just picture my face as we are in the back, kind of moving stuff around, milling around a little bit because we're tired and we're like we've got 5 minutes till break or whatever. Picture my face when I hear her say, "Oh yeah, I miss." I can't remember this. I can't remember what she said his name was, but it was something with a J, like Jamal or something. She's like, "Oh, I miss Jamal. He was this college kid. He was colored, and he used to work here." And
What
yeah,
color is he?
yeah,
Purple?
yeah, exactly. The face that you just made was I kept my composure and I was just like, but I was so shocked at first because I was like, that can't be what I just heard come out of her mouth. But then she said it again
Was
because
that
it was
was
like,
that the intolerant lady?
yes.
Okay.
And so she was like, "Oh yeah, he," because she said it twice. Because she was like, "Oh yeah, I miss him. He was a college kid. He was colored, but he was a big guy, but he was this colored guy who used to work here." And I fully had to interrupt her conversation. I was like, "Ma'am, I'm not gonna let me not out her and dox her name." I was like, "Charlene," I'm just making that's my name for old people. "Charlene, I'm so sorry. We don't say colored anymore. We don't say that anymore." And she's like, "Oh, we," and I was like, "Yeah, Charlene." And the other lady who I hadn't seen her face because she was
Are
like
there
slightly
any
behind
black
me.
people who work there?
There are is the thing.
I
Not a
mean,
lot.
on your shift?
On my shift, no, I'm the only one.
Okay.
And so I was like, so the other lady was like slightly behind me, so I didn't see her reaction to her saying this, but she was walking up as I interrupted the other lady, and I was like, "Shirley, we don't say that anymore." And I could see I turned and saw her face, and she was like embarrassed, like she was embarrassed that her friend had said this. But I was like, "Shirley, we don't say that anymore." She's like, "What?" And I was
Embarrassed
like,
by my people.
"Yes." I was like, "Shirley, we don't say that anymore." And she's like, "Oh, what?" And I was like, "Yeah, we do. That is offensive. We do not say that anymore. We do not say colored." And she's like, "Well, what am I supposed to say?" And I'm like, "Well, you can say black. I mean, we say black." And she's like, "Oh, well, that," like she started the sentence like she was about to say, "Oh, well, that." For some reason, I don't know why, but for some reason, people feel like that is worse. Okay,
Because there was a period where people were like, "Well, call me African American." But
okay,
like people in my age group, we grew I think I don't know. I think there's a gap somewhere between my age group and your age group. There or like Sydney and Chloe's age group. There is like a middle area where people felt like, oh, we should be calling people African American. But
mm.
I grew up with black, so African American feels like too much of a mouthful. And
It feels very formal.
it feels like people in your age group and younger have decided let's just reclaim black because African American's too much.
Yeah. Well, okay, so that's what I said. I
We're
was like,
trying to do too much.
yeah, so that's what I said. I was like, you can say black. And she was like, oh, well, that. And I was like, Charlene, you can say black or you can say African American. Those are the two that we use. We do not say color. That is offensive. And she's like, oh, okay. And then she tried to come back with, and she like, I think she was trying to like cover for herself, like for her, because she clearly looked like a little embarrassed. I was very politely, like I had a smile on my face the whole time. I was not like coming at it aggressive or anything because it was very clear that to me at least, I could be fully wrong and fully reading people wrong, but to me, after talking to her for the like couple months I've been there, she doesn't seem like a bad person. It doesn't seem like she really meant any offense by it. She fully was just like living in ignorant town, living in a redneck hick like town stuck deep
And
in
if
the
there's like
mountains.
if she's worked there a long time and there's no black people on that shift and there's no and she goes to church with no black people, and so like on her day-to-day life she's just not seeing a bunch of black people, then they've probably let her, even though like the other lady was embarrassed for her, so the other lady but with no other black people on the shift, it's like, okay, she's saying colored again, but I'm just gonna let it slide because there's no other black people here to get offended, so I'm just gonna leave it alone.
See, the thing that irritates me though is that she was talking about Jamal, who was a college kid from New York who used to work there. So she worked with Jamal, and that means that either she has forgotten or ignored, or Jamal didn't say anything. And I'm like, Jamal.
I bet you Jamal didn't call her on it. Because
I'm like,
I might
Jamal.
I might not have called somebody on it. So I bet you Jamal didn't call her on it.
I just couldn't, I couldn't. I was like, I'm not about to work. I don't know how here listening to this woman call people colored. It is not. It is. This is the first time that I've heard it, and so I'm gonna nip it in the bud. We're stopping right now. Oh, but it was, but it, so she looked like she was kind of embarrassed by the situation because I called her on it, like not in like a I need to retaliate really kind of way, but in a like I feel like I need to cover my ass kind of way. And so she like we were moving along or whatever. I was like, yeah, we don't say that anymore. That's offensive. And then she's like, oh, okay, because like they call us honkies, and I'm like, first of all, no black person's ever gonna call you a honky. In my head, I'm like, no black person's ever gonna call you a honky because that
Okay,
is not
no.
something that black people
Wait a
say.
minute. How old is she?
She
Because
is older, like
black people said honky in the 70s. In the 70s when I was a little elementary school child.
she has a full head of long gray hair. She is older. She's got
So
kids and grandkids.
again,
She is older.
she probably if she thinks that we still say honky, she hasn't been around black people in a long time.
Nope. But she was like,
She obviously isn't watching TV either. And is
who
not
knows what she's
and
doing?
apparently is not on social media because
Who knows? She's on her old white lady Facebook, I'm assuming. But she was like, because they call us honkies, and I'm like, Charlene, I'm not gonna call anybody anything other than their name unless they are being a bitch. I like that. That is fully what came out of my mouth. I'm like, I'm not gonna call anybody anything but their name unless they're being a bitch. Like this is your name.
You said the B word at
I
work?
did. I fully did because everybody cusses at work. First of all, second of all, I wanted to.
Okay, see, I work office jobs. Nobody curses at office jobs.
Yeah, I work a night shift stocking at a grocery store. And I'm used to working in like kitchens and stuff where if you like working in a kitchen, that's all that comes out of anybody's mouth. Cursing left and right.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, so
Okay, this does not feel long enough.
what are you working on?
Okay, continue.
Anyway, so that is why and then that just opened up the pathway now because I think because I was so polite in explaining to her for the bandana,
Yeah,
definitely make that longer.
that is short.
But that has now opened up the pathway for them to, because then the other lady was like, can I ask you something like without you getting offended? And I was like, as long as you're not asking it in an offensive way, as long as you're not asking an offensive question. And she's like, okay. She said, she was just asking, she was like, I keep trying to tell my mother that unless their race pertains to the story, she does not need to explain that she was talking about a black person. And I was like, yeah, that is true. If it could have happened to a white person and the story would not change, you don't need to specify that they're black. It does not really matter. Like it's not inherently racist, but it doesn't matter. But I realized with that question, I have now opened myself up to be their little African American encyclopedia of, can I ask you this question about black people without you getting offended? Can I ask you,
it sounds like
about your hair? Can I ask you about...
They need to go listen to Yo, Is This Racist?
I don't know what that is.
It's a podcast with a biracial black woman and an Asian man.
Mm-hmm.
And they get questions about such and such thing happened at my job. Is this racist?
That's what it feels like. I feel like I'm about to be that podcast IRL for them, which I try to avoid being that person at work because I don't have the energy to carry all of the answers. I'd say even a little bit longer because that's for the bandana, right?
Yeah.
So sit it on your head and see if that's long enough.
I can't sit it on my head. That would be weird.
It would not. That's how I test all of my bandanas.
Okay, continue.
But I try not to be this person because I just don't have the energy to... Ari said, why can't people just mind their own? For real. Why it's... But I like, it's a combination of, I don't want to answer all of your black people questions. And also you are coming to me in a place of learning, of you want to learn and understand. And so I want you to be able to learn these things so that you don't do something worse down the road. So I understand that you are trying to learn in the situation, but also I don't want to have to be the person to answer all your questions. It's it's tiring.
Exactly.
It's tiring. It's like, it's, what do they say about because they say it about black people, but also about queer, like the queer community as well, of like
It's not
this.
your job. It's not your job to do their labor.
Exactly, thank you. It's not my job to do your labor when you fully could just look it up.
Google exists.
Mm-hmm.
Google is a thing, is what they say. Google is a thing.
Google is free.
Google is a thing. Okay,
Oh,
so
Ari, Ari in the chat, tell them to make some colored friends.
oh Lord,
Oh my goodness.
where they gonna make them out of? Play-Doh, Ari?
Apparently,
Because if they're colored, that's the only thing you can make them out of.
but there are no, I think there is one black person that works on an earlier shift. Um, but other than that, there are no black people that work on my shift, and it is just, so that was my week. That's all I've been thinking about this week, is why is this going on? Honestly.
Okay, so your first Friday update.
Oh, first Friday update. So remember last week I told you I talked to them and I was like, ooh, I could actually probably bring up the message. But I talked to them and I was like, where are you? Scroll, 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 scroll. Mm. I said, I wanted to message you before we have First Friday next week. Last month was not very good. It felt like we had the same number of people, but I only made about $40. And one of the parents commented about me charging this year when it was free last year. And I said, like, maybe I can send you some pictures so you can post stuff to the Instagram, like kind of giving them a suggestion of maybe we could do this, maybe it would help out. But also, it was bad. It
Mhm.
was not good. And so I got the message yesterday. Hi, Maya. I wanted to let you know that we are going back to free face painting and henna tattoos for all the kids. We'll pay you the amount for each First Friday event. So they're going back to yoga.
Yay!
Yes. So
Because
everybody's getting
that
free.
was one of your most profitable regular things. So I'm glad that they're going back to paying you.
Exactly. And now I don't have to turn away these children. And I'm gonna take my chalkboard sign, because I had my chalkboard sign that had like my prices on it, and I'm gonna flip it over to the other side, clear that off, and just write like a big word "free" up there, so that word can maybe catch everybody's eye, and then the
Yeah.
kids will know that they can
Yeah,
come
because
back up there.
if they haven't done it for the past few weeks, they're probably thinking, "Oh, we can't go do that. Let's not even take the kids in that direction because we don't want them to be disappointed."
Yeah.
But if
So
they can
hopefully,
see a big sign that says free, then that might help.
yeah, as big as I can make it anyway. And they usually park me right beside the bouncy house, so they should be able to see me, I think.
Good, 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 good.
Yes.
So it is time to move on to our crafty yarny thoughts. And just as you said that you don't have any games to talk about, I have no crafty stuff to talk about. So how about we get my crafty stuff out of the way?
Well,
I have not.
honestly, today might
uh,
just be all about life updates and games, because I don't have very much either. We'll keep going.
I have, let's see, I have not found a project to replace the cozy hoodie. Same for you. I have not worked on the hexagon blanket because I wanted to finish the stuff for your cousin's baby.
Mm-hmm.
Um Wait a minute. Vamp, your father's texting me.
Ooh, what can I vamp about?
Oh, nothing to vamp about. He's just letting me know he because I was we're on the tea kick, right? But then
Mm-hmm.
Walmart decided to be funny. They put it on sale and now it's out of stock. So he's been going to a different store to pick it up. And so he's been picking up whichever one they had available. So this last time um
Lipton green tea
he
watermelon.
got green tea watermelon, and this time he got Georgia style iced peach tea. This is not green tea, which
Yeah.
I think he thought it was green tea, And he just texted me and said he took some of the Georgia peach tea to work with him. He doesn't like it. It's all mine, which is fine because I love me some peach tea. So,
I I like
and
iced tea. I
I
do
don't
not
like the
like
one
pre-bottled iced tea.
I don't like the watermelon
The
tea.
watermelon's
So
okay. I like the citrus better, but the
the
watermelon's okay.
watermelon, yeah, I like the citrus. I mean, the watermelon's okay. We discussed this before. The watermelon's okay, but I prefer the citrus over the watermelon. He prefers the watermelon over the citrus. We got watermelon and peach this time. He doesn't like the peach. So now that whole 12 bottles of peach is for me,
Mm,
and all that watermelon is for him.
mm,
So we are all good because he's I think he's going to start buying these on a regular basis because compared to soda, this is only like 100 calories where soda would be like 200 and something for the same
yep.
size. So this is only 100 calories. A, B, your brother says I'm not getting enough calories. So 100 calories from a beverage is not going to hurt me.
Yeah.
Okay. Because like yesterday, I had a hot dog and a small fry at like 12 o'clock, and then I didn't think to eat again until 9:30. So uh, calories, I need to take. They need to be my friend, even though I am over 300 pounds at this point. I still need to take in the calories, or else I'm gonna
Mm,
because I don't think about these days. I don't get hungry, and then I don't think about food until I feel like I'm either going to throw up or pass out, and then it's like, oh, I should eat some food.
yeah, I feel that.
So so
Speaking of food,
even though the world would say, hey, you've got enough calorie. Are you eating tahine? I thought you said you were allergic to those.
I thought I was, but remember we had that conversation because I wasn't sure if I was allergic to them,
Yeah, and then
and
you said you
so
were getting an itchy feeling when you were eating them on Sunday.
yeah, I said I thought I was feeling like my gums were itchy or whatever, and so but
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if it was psychosomatic or if it was actually the tahine. So I've been eating them like little bits at a time, and I've
Uh-huh.
not been feeling itchy eating them little bits at a time. So I
Okay.
don't know if it was the tahine that was making me, and I've always like I made sure that like my roommate's home in case I need to be rushed to the hospital or something.
Uh-huh.
But it's but I'm not sure if it was the tahine or if it was something else. Because we did, my roommate did remind me that a few days before that, we were at one of the farmers markets where we're like right by the farm. And so we
Mhm.
could have gotten bit by the nociums, the little red bugs or
Uh-huh.
whatever.
Mhm.
Because from what they explained and from what like the internet says is they don't just bite you when they're gone like mosquitoes, but they'll get on your clothes and so they can bite you like later on. Not Chloe, edit
All
that
right,
out.
Chloe, edit it out. Y'all are silly.
Edit out the phone call, Chloe. Oh my goodness. Ooh.
What?
Sorry,
What's the matter?
I accidentally tapped my headphone because these are the tap headphones where you tap to like pause and play or whatever. I accidentally
Mhm.
tapped them and all of a sudden I got this testing speakers music. It's testing my speakers and I'm like, what? Who? Ma'am? Where are you coming from? But yeah, so I got the tahini and I didn't scarf down the entire bag like I did last time, but also just eating like 4 or 5 at a time doesn't like, I've not felt any itching. So I just want to update the people, update the world that I may
Okay.
not be allergic to chili. We'll see, which would be very
Oh,
nice because
good.
I do like those snacks.
That's good to know. That is good to know. So back to the crafty stuff. Now that your father has updated me on the situation, like I wasn't going to drink all that peach tea anyway, but he was going to have to fight me to get to it anyway. But now I know that I can have it all to myself. That is good to know. Good to know. Who else is texting me now?
Ooh. Chloe, edit this out. Well, while you are doing text message stuff, what are my vamping topics? What do we have? Podcast that we've been listening to. I whew, I've been listening to Worlds Beyond Number, and I don't want to I'm not gonna spoil anything because I want just everybody in the world to listen to that podcast. It is so good. But the last like two episodes. The episode before the most recent episode I was listening to, and the way that it ended, I was like choked up in my throat. I was upset, and to the point where because I listened to that, and then I also listened to the most recent episode of Dungeons and Daddies, both of
Yeah,
which
I
were
saw
like,
your TikTok about Dungeons and Daddies.
yes, both of which are very emotional. So I listened to Dungeons and Daddies, and I was like, "Ooh, oh, my heart, my feelings. Let me go listen to something else. Let's listen to this good story about these people in Cute Little Fox or whatever." And I listened to that one, and that one also was like there was a moment in it where I was like, "What?" And so I had to go ask my manager. I was like. I went to ask him. I was like, "So, what do you want me to do with these other boxes over here?" He's like, "Are you okay?" I was like, I'm listening to a podcast and people are dying.
Lord have mercy. But so Yarny Crafty, I basically haven't done any Yarny Crafty stuff much this week because I was focusing on using I took the 4-day weekend like a lot of people do here in the US because it was 4th of July weekend. And 4th of July was on a Tuesday, so a lot of people were like taking off early on Friday and then
Took off
you know
Monday.
took off Monday um, and Tuesday. So I did the same. And I used that long weekend to, besides making the pie, and I made some pulled chicken for sandwiches, which sounds like not a big deal, but you got to understand, I don't have the energy to stand in the kitchen for very long. So your brother does most of the cooking, and I eat mostly frozen meals. But every once in a while, I summon up the energy to cook cook one thing that can be separated out into like 4 meals or so and eaten during the
Oh,
week. Oh, you're making a hot mess.
I was struggling. I couldn't get it open with these stupid nails.
And so, yes, Ari's talking about Dungeons and Drag Queens, which we're not supposed to be talking about reading and watching stuff right now, but there is a new episode of Dungeons and Drag Queens for
I am
Thursday.
caught up on Dungeons and Dragons. We're gonna talk about that next week. I am
Yeah, we'll
caught
talk
up.
about it next week. I only watched the first episode. I haven't watched the second one, so I'm gonna probably do that this weekend while I work on crafty stuff, if I can
And I
sleep.
did listen to the most recent episode of Dungeons and Daddies, Ari, the one that just came out like earlier this week. And it broke my heart.
So, but we're trying to stick to our goal, and so we'll talk about
Mm-hmm.
that stuff more next week because we're trying not to make this a 6-hour podcast. Okay, what time do you have to leave, by the way?
I don't have to be there until 5. I do need to leave a little early to put on the proper pants. So, but we got a while, like 4:30.
Okay, because I got work I have to do too, but I also need to stick my head in the freezer before I do that. Um, so the only thing that I've done so far, which I might as well stop doing this because I was trying to get as much done as I could before we start talking about yarny thoughts so I could show some progress. But have not finished it, which is the um the bandana, which
It
added
looks good.
I added the extra row. It still looks kind of small to me, but this is the medium.
I mean, if you hold it up on your head, does it feel like the size of a bandana?
Well,
Because that looks like the size of a bandana to me.
excuse me taking the headphones off.
Quick, now this is when we talk about her. We're gonna say all of the things.
Oh
Yeah,
no.
that's definitely the size of a bandana. I don't know what she's worrying about. That looks good to me. What do you guys think? Because we have Ari, and I thought I saw Darlene in the chat earlier.
Okay, I didn't hear any of that. I got my headphones back on. What are you talking about?
Oh, I was just saying, I think it looks good. That looks like the size of a bandana. Also,
I
wondering
think
who all we have in chat because I thought I saw Darlene earlier.
it is too small for me, but I also have my
The big
puff
puff. Mm-hmm.
going in the back. Well, it's not a big puff because I'm old. I don't have that much hair. I got a puff going back here, so maybe would lay down a little bit further if I didn't have the puff. But also, the girl that I am making this for is
Latina?
Latina. Yes, I was trying to think of her particular flavor of Latina, but I can't think of it. It's not. I can't think of it.
Yeah, she said, I remember her saying it when
Colombian?
we were
Colombian, maybe? No.
possibly. I remember her saying it when we were at one of the auntie's
Yeah,
houses
I do
last
too,
year.
but I don't remember what it was. I think she's that variety of there's one flavor of Latina where I remember thinking to myself, I have never met a woman from that country who is unattractive.
Mm,
Everyone I've met is just strikingly beautiful, and I think she's that from that country, but I can't remember.
hmm.
I can't remember. I want to say Colombian, but I'm not sure. But yeah, so all that is to say she doesn't have the frizzy standy up hair like I have. She has the straight hangy down hair like a Caucasian lady. And
Hmm.
so this might hang okay. Although for me and a bandana, I would like it to be longer back here,
A little
but
longer in the back, yeah. Yeah, I usually do too because I also usually have like a puff or something going on
mhm,
in the back.
I like it to be longer. But maybe she'll like it, maybe she won't, maybe she won't even wear it, but this is as far as I got you so you can see what the border's gonna look like. I added because I ran out of the variegated. I don't know if you can tell, but I ran out of the variegated, and so this last section here is all just solid purple.
It looks good though.
Because
It
I
looks like it
got
was on purpose.
because I got this so that it would match the sweater.
Hmm.
Because, in case we forgot, the baby sweater, I went with the sleeves purple because I thought that I was not going to have enough. Because silly me, even though I've made this pattern 10 times, I listen.
Refuses to
I,
trust
I
anything
listened.
but the paper.
No, I listened to the paper, and the paper said, "Oh, you need a full skein plus extra if you use the variegated because the variegated doesn't have enough yarn in it." But I've made all I ever make this with is variegated, and always use a little less than a full skein. So I should have trusted myself and made the whole sweater out of the variegated. Then I wouldn't be trying to use up what was left and making a bandana. But anyway, here we go. And
But it's cute.
but she probably won't even like it, and she probably won't even wear it. And I've wasted my time.
Oh my
But
goodness. That was a roller coaster. Calm down.
well, I mean, you can't predict people's taste in
You
fashion,
can't, but there's no need to put
and
yourself down for no
I make
reason.
I make
Bandanas are in
stuff
right now.
I make stuff for your sister all the time. Dominican. Yeah, of course you're gonna holler out for the Dominicans, Ari. But
He said, my people.
I thought Ari was Puerto Rican.
No,
Why did I think Ari was Puerto Rican?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Okay. Getting my Latinos mixed up. Okay.
Mm,
So that is all. And I've done no coloring pages other than finish that crab I was working on the other day. But since you saw that last week, I'm not going to show that again. So, and I have added 50 million coloring books to my um, wish list. So when Christmas comes around, you guys are going to
you'll
be like,
have
"Oh my
plenty to
gosh,
choose
what are we
from.
going to get here?" Because this is going to be nothing but coloring books.
You are going to
And
have a library of coloring books.
one little tidbit while you're getting your glasses on and everything. I've been watching coloring book um people
Coloring book talk.
on YouTube, and I need to see if there's any coloring book TikTokers. But
I'm surprised you haven't already.
I've been watching YouTubers who color, and A, it seems like it's mostly women, and B, everybody puts on the front of their video and in their comments, this is an adult coloring what did they put? This is a video intended for adults. It is not intended for children. This is an adult coloring, whatever. I'm like,
Well,
y'all act like y'all are coloring boobies. You
no. Well, the thing is, if they think that your video is intended for children, then one, if you cuss, you can get in trouble. Two, like you'll get like two,
But
you
that's just it. Nobody I watch these videos, nobody is cussing, nobody is coloring half naked men or half naked women.
but
Nobody's doing
also you, if you have videos for children, you might not get monetized, is the thing. If
oh.
your videos are intended for children, there's a weird thing around monetization and getting the commercials on your video if your video is meant for kids.
Okay, I guess that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Cause I just every time I see that, I'm like, y'all are not coloring anything salacious. Why do you need to put this thing up here? So tell us about you stopping about the commissions.
Okay, so I am first of all, I'm not pulling up any yarn stuff because I am still weaving in those ends for that baby blanket. So that's where I am right now.
So you finished the baby blanket, you're just weaving in the ends?
Yeah, I've got to weave in the ends, and then I've got to sew all the three pieces together, and then
Mhm.
we're done. It's taking forever and a day. But I am going to stop doing commissions because I previously or so far my mindset has been, as soon as I get a commission, say yes to every single one, because that is guaranteed money, and I can do that and have the money for that, as opposed to making things, sitting them on the table, and like somebody might not buy them. But one, I've got commissions that like it's going to take me the rest of July, possibly longer, to get through these commissions. And two, because I've been spending so much time working on these commissions, because in my head I'm like, I can't do anything because I've got these commissions I've got to finish. Because I've been spending so much time working on these commissions, all this stuff on my table is dwindling. I used to have 2 tables at market, and now it is enough that I can condense it down into one. And so I want to, after these commissions, I want to take time to just build up inventory, because there are some big markets coming later on this year. There's the Big Crafty, which happens in December. I don't know if I'm going to get into that one, but if I do get into that one, they bring in upwards of 6,000 people to that market. It's a 2-day market, and it's like, and I've been to the Big Crafty before, because I went to see Threadbanger. I went to see some YouTube
That's
there.
the name of it, the Big Crafty.
Mm-hmm.
And
The Big Crafty.
when is this thing?
So they have 2 of them. There's a summer one and there's a winter one. I've already missed the summer one because that one was, I think that one's coming up this weekend, and so it's far too late for me to try to do that. And then there's the winter one, which is December like 5th and 6th or whatever. It's like the first weekend in December.
Okay, to buy last minute Christmas gifts or whatever.
Yes. So it is a huge market. Like when I went to go see we went and saw Threadbanger. It was me, Wayne, and Chloe. We went and saw Threadbanger, and then we also were just like walking around looking at the stuff. There were some places in there that were so crowded, you could barely see from one stall to the next.
Oh,
Like
wow.
we were having to push past people just to get to the next stall, because I had some friends that were vending there too. It was absolutely packed. And I can't remember, I think we went to the summer one though. So I haven't been to the Big Crafty in the winter, but that was the summer one. And they said for both of the Big Crafties, they usually bring in like upwards of 6,000 people.
And
So
is that the one that you said the fee was $200 to get in?
$225.
Oh, yikes. So
Yes.
you're still debating on whether you're gonna.
I'm debating on whether I want to apply, because most of my business comes in. I do want to make some big stuff, because I feel like I could probably make that money back. But most of my business comes in from henna and face paint and stuff. And so if I had realized,
Do people do that at the Big Crafty?
I didn't see anybody at the one I went, and I have not heard of anybody doing it. And so I would probably be the only henna artist there. And so I could make bank, but the thing is, in the wintertime is not the time when people get henna.
Yeah.
And so I wish that I had realized that the summer one was coming up so soon, so I could have applied to that one. But I also wouldn't have had the inventory.
Yeah.
because I don't want to set up with just the henna booth. I want to set up with the henna booth and also all of my
So
crochet
so
stuff.
maybe since you know now, you have a year to prepare to save the $200 fee and the whole thing and get your inventory up full of summery things. Then
Mm-hmm.
maybe that's what you should aim for is next summer since henna is your big thing. You make more money from henna than you do from the crochet.
Well,
So,
the other thing that I was thinking about though is that a lot of my crochet stuff, when people think of crochet stuff, they think of like heavier, like winter stuff.
uh-huh.
And so I'm wondering if I do the big crafty in December, if I can manage to move more crochet stuff off of my table
Mhm.
because it will be
Yeah,
because
that's
I
the
could.
other. I mean, if you can come up with the $200 application fee and it wouldn't be a strain,
Mm-hmm.
then I would say aim for December because 6 months is still plenty of time if you really hustle on it right now and
Yeah,
start making hats and scarves and things to really bulk up your inventory.
that's what I'm thinking. And then also right before that, there is. Oh, I saw the chat move. I don't have my glasses on. Plus, it'll give you a chance to perfect how to make the henna. Yeah, because I'm having to make my henna by myself now. I have right over there is the box of the dried henna powder that I need to make, and I'm putting it off because I still have a little bit of pre-made henna left, and so I'm really just putting it off because I
And
don't want
there's
to try
like
it.
this is not a thing that you can like order through the mail or
I
you know
can,
like
but I would essentially be paying double. Like with the ordering the henna paste, I order the powder and it would be like 16 $17 plus shipping for the powder. So like all in all about 22 dollars for the powder because I've already ordered the essential oil, so I think I've got enough essential oil to make like another batch or two. Um, plus essential oil I could buy locally. Um, so it would be that, or I could buy the same amount that the powder would make for like $30 or $40.
mm,
So it's a big price difference, and I should probably learn because I just had somebody ask me if I sell henna cones, and so there's a chance that I could make some money from that if I make the powder myself because I couldn't resell somebody else's henna. So I
so I
want to try
guess
to figure it
it's a
out.
thing that you need to learn to do. It's not your favorite thing to do.
It's really not, but I'm gonna figure it out. But yeah, that would give me time. But also before the big crafty this year in September, over at Fay Nectar Fayhaven, they are they I made a playlist for when we drive down there because it's an hour away, and I named my playlist Fayhaven. Um, but over at Fay Nectar, they once a month they will bring in Warriors of Ash, which are the fighters that do not reenactment fighting, but like historical like fighting with the weapons and stuff, and like armor and everything. But they do that once a month. But in September is their big like festival of heroes or whatever, which is like their big one that they do every year, and that one brings in a couple thousand people. And they're doing it at Fay Nectar this year. And
Mhm.
so that one's supposed to bring in a bunch, and they're getting like more vendors and like a bunch more stuff for that one. And so there's
Mhm.
a chance that I could make a good bit of money at that. I want to make sure that I've got a lot of like items and stuff ready for that. But if I
Yeah.
could make enough money at that, that could be the $200 that I then pay for the big crafty if I can
Yeah.
play my cards right.
So what kind of things do you think will sell at Fayhaven?
That I need to do more like fantasy stuff, like the witch hats, the wands. I need to make more wands. I'm gonna make I saw some dandelions outside, so I'm gonna get some dandelion seeds and put them in necklaces to make some wish necklaces. And then also I need to make more crop tops. I just took my last commission. I need to post something on Instagram and stuff. I just took my last commission because one of the vendors at Fay Nectar, their 12-year-old daughter has been wanting to get 12-year-old child. I'm sorry, non-binary. Their 12-year-old child has been wanting to wear crop tops, and and the vendor saw the crop tops on my thing, and they asked if I could remake one of the crop tops that I had already made, but in one, make it in rainbow colors, and two, make it it's the purple one that's got the lacy. But she asked if I could do the laces up a bit higher
Hmm.
because she's 12, and so
Yeah.
but she doesn't want me to completely sew it up because she wants her to be able to wear the top later once she's a bit
Uh-huh.
older. And so
Uh-huh.
she asked if I could just lace it up a bit higher, that way it would be more modest for right now, but she
Yeah.
could unlace it later on. And so I'm going to, but a lot of people like the crop tops, but I made one crop top in small because I was testing the pattern. What does it say? I'm blind.
I don't know
That
what
too.
you
That
mean.
also would. That's a thing that we talked about before. He was talking about a moon cycle like necklace pattern, and then I was also thinking about like making like tapestries and stuff like that with the moon cycles because everybody's all about the moon over here, moon stuff, and it's a very popular motif, the moon cycle
Hmm.
thing.
Hmm.
So I need to do that too, but crop tops. I made that one purple crop top, but I made it in small because I was testing the pattern to see if I liked it. And I haven't made any of the bigger sizes. And so I keep getting people come over to my table and they see it and like, this is cute, but this is far too small. And I'm like, I understand. I could not picture someone's entire torso being this small and then being an adult human. So I need to make more. I need to make more of the crop tops too because it seems like those would be popular. I just don't have the size for it.
Yeah, you were talking about moon stuff. There was several years ago when there was the solar eclipse.
Mm-hmm.
Um there was a I'm trying to see because I feel like I saved the pattern, but I don't know what I saved it under. I wanted to show you because it was a pattern for a coaster, but I feel like it would be something that you could use as a motif in something else.
Oh yeah, like make it a granny square and use it for something else maybe.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just trying to find what is it
Ooh, this green eyeshadow is killing me. It's got a bunch of fallout, but it's not packing on the color
that you
onto my
want.
oil. Yeah.
Okay. No. Uh, what's it?
I need to get another
It
makeup
was
wipe.
really pretty, and I was going to make it even though I have no need for coasters.
Mm-hmm. That's what all the that also all the crochet girlies right now are making coasters, and I'm like, who is using coasters in their house? Unless you were just like the most fancy, and in which case you're not using somebody's handmade crochet coasters from the farmer's market. Who in the world is using coasters?
Really, really. Where on earth? Maybe I put it. Let me see if I can find it.
Well, you can search,
Ah,
but
there it is. There it is. I
oh,
found it. I found it. I found it. I found it. I found it.
Chloe,
It's
you can cut the searching section out.
that. Yeah, y'all are so silly.
Oh, it's cute. All you
Isn't
can
it
see is my
though?
hair.
Isn't it though?
It is cute.
Somebody designed this when the solar eclipse came, and it just strikes me as something that a hippy dippy person would have on
Mm-hmm.
a shirt or something.
Well,
That
I have been following this lady on TikTok who like basically made like a granny square, but then like stretched it out to be a halter top. And so I'm wondering if I could do that and just like crochet around that to make it into a halter top because that
that
would
would
be
be
cute.
interesting. Yeah, that would be cute. That would be cute. Okay, so are we done with our crafty things?
I think that we are.
Okay, so do you want to discuss your D&D stuff before I do this mad dash through all my games that I played this weekend?
I will wait because I have a feeling that in between one or two games, you're gonna be busy trying to pull something up, and we're gonna need to vamp about something, and then I can just talk about D&D stuff.
You think so, huh?
I do. I'm fairly confident, honestly.
Okay, if you think so. Well,
Worst case scenario, I could just talk about myself last. It's not a huge deal.
okay, first off, I wanted to say um before I go down that mad dash, I wanted to say that Stardew Valley is coming to Apple Arcade.
Yeah, I saw that.
I just saw it on my because I check every like maybe once a week. I check the Apple Arcade thing. You have to like if you're an Apple person, you go to the App Store and they have a separate section for Apple Arcade if you are subscribed to Apple Arcade. And all the Apple Arcade stuff is in its own store section, like its own tab. And then you scroll all the way down and then it'll show you at the bottom stuff that is upcoming. So I always check once a week to see if there's anything new coming and if there is anything um excuse me, if there's any games that have like a limited time event cuz I'm a sucker for a limited time event in a game.
Hmm.
Okay, if they have like an event that is based on 4th of July or something like that, I I will play that even though it's a game I don't regularly play. I may install the game just to play the little event and then or sometimes if it's a game I haven't played in a while but they have an event going on, I'll jump back in the game just to play the event.
Hmm.
I don't know why. I'm just a sucker for limited time events and games. But anyway, so I was checking and I scrolled down and I saw Stardew Valley and I was like I I can't believe that that's not what I see there. I'm confused. And then I heard a podcast that was talking about Apple Arcade because they talk about Apple Arcade once a year to see, if things have changed, if they've added new games, blah blah blah. And they mentioned that Stardew Valley was coming to Apple Arcade. So it's like, okay, I didn't hallucinate it. Slay the Spire, which everybody talks about that game. I've not played it. Everybody talked it was the
Oh,
newest
I
game
wait played
that
Slay the
was
Spire.
it's also coming to Apple Arcade.
You
But
might like it. If I'm recalling, it's like a roguelike kind of card based game, maybe. I might be remembering the wrong game.
well, it's coming too, so I might try it because everybody talked about it like it's the greatest thing. Even the people, even the girlies who play cozy games
Uh-huh.
talk about how much they love Slay the Spire. So I'm like, but it just seems like it's not going to be my game.
Yeah,
But I might try it if it's on Apple Arcade. That's why
I
I
feel like
keep
Slay
my
the
Apple
Spire might
Arcade.
not be your vibe.
That's why I keep my Apple Arcade because I keep thinking, oh, I'm going to get rid of it, but like it's only $5 a month. And
Hmm.
just when decide I'm going to get rid of it, I scroll down and they've got a new game coming that I'm interested in. And of course, the game that you don't want me to talk about is leaving hints that they might have another update coming up later this year.
I
So
saw you posting about. You sent me a video about that.
so there are things. But anyway, I figured I may not stick to this, but I figured today I would talk about all my Steam stuff. And then the next time we talk about games, I would talk about um things that I play, my Apple Arcade type stuff. And then the next time it'd be Netflix games.
Okay.
Because
Oh, Netflix game.
those are the three main categories of games that I play outside of, Board Game Arena. Those are the main categories of games that I play. So so that's why this weekend I decided to and I also thought about it because we just had Steam Next Fest a couple weeks ago. So there was demos I downloaded from that. And then there was the Wholesome Direct, which
Hmm.
had
Which I saw that.
which had some demos from that I was interested in. And then the summer sale just started. The Steam summer sale, which you see up on my screen, just started on June 29th and it's going until July 13th. So in this list, I pretty much tried all the things that are that were either part of the next fest, so they're like in early access or will be coming soon, or stuff
Hmm.
that's on sale, because just in case you're interested in any of it, it's on sale to the 13th, so you got time to get it.
Oh, okay.
But that was my
Your goal
also
for today.
that was my goal for today. Plus I want to um get all those demos off of my computer so that
Hmm.
I can just play the stuff that I want to play.
for anyone keeping track, I have applied and wiped off my eyeshadow about 4 times now. We are just doing no eyeshadow today. I'm gonna put on some eyeliner, and that's gonna be it because I'm over it.
Meanwhile, I'm glad I didn't play with makeup today because I knew if I sat in here,
It
I
would be
could,
hot.
yeah, I could have took the computer downstairs like I did last time, but I knew I had to do work and my knee is giving me problems going up and down the stairs. So I was like, let me just set up in here. It really doesn't get really bad in here till about 4 or 5 o'clock. So
Hmm.
I figured, let me go ahead in here. I'll sweat a little bit, but I've got cold water, get this done, and then I can go ahead and do my work without having to lug all my stuff back upstairs.
Yeah, I feel
So,
you.
okay. Stardew Valley coming out arcade. I got that. I commissioned some cats. I'm gonna mention some things that aren't part of the sale first, right quick. I commissioned some cats. It has a very lovely style. It is
Is that one of your cat find it games?
yeah, I can't remember. I mentioned it because I can't remember if you guys bought that for me or if I bought it for myself.
I cannot remember which cat games we bought
I
for
I
you.
can't remember which cat games you bought for me either. So I just thought I'd mention it
Ooh, I do like that art style.
because I was trying to see if I can make the screen bigger. There we go. But yeah, it's interesting because every picture is a different art style. So as you can
Oh,
see, yeah, it's different art style.
okay. Yeah, I
But
see.
also, what I really like about it is that it oh, is that the end of the video? No, that's sad. What I really like about it is that when you yeah, this is a picture I've already done. So I'm gonna can I make that bigger? No.
Sort
Um
of.
yeah. So this is a picture that I've already done. And as you can see, like I don't know if you can see, can you see my cursor?
Well, let me put my glasses on. I can't see anything right now. I do not. Oh, I see your cursor. Yeah.
Okay. So like the guy at the desk, this you're looking for cats and balls of yarn. So you see the cat on his shoulder. It looks like it's drawn into the picture. It doesn't look like it's like placed on top.
Mm-hmm.
Some of these games that I play, you can kind of tell that the cat or the whatever you're searching for is placed
Was
on
added
top.
after the fact.
Yeah, but this feels like it is part of the picture. But then
Mm-hmm.
as soon as you click it, like this cat up here on the awning. As soon as you click it, it's
It like
like
highlights.
it's no, it doesn't highlight like in my other game. It disappears
Ooh.
and so it's like it was never there. Like the line
Oh.
you can see that there's a line behind that cat
Yeah.
on the awning. And so when you click that cat, then the line's going to be there and it's just going to look like there was nothing ever there.
Oh, so
So I
they yeah. So they did
yeah,
a good job with the artist there getting like designing the cats to fit into the background.
exactly, exactly. It fits very well. It fits very well. So I like that about this game. Um, I also played the game that you bought me, and I'm stuck on some places, but I know for a fact
Ooh,
you bought me this game.
which one?
I was a storyteller. I was playing
Yes.
this. They have an update coming in September.
Oh, do they? Because I
So
haven't played it. I only watch my YouTubers play it.
yeah, they've added some
Some more
puz
chapters or whatever.
they're gonna add some more chapters, some more puzzles, and they're gonna do a thing where the devil comes into some previous puzzles and adds some things for you to do.
Oh, that
So
sounds fun. You should call me. You should call me next time you're playing that game, and maybe we can figure it out together. Because
so yeah,
I loved watching them play that game. It was so good.
yeah, there's some screens. I have not watched anybody play because like I watched just enough to see that, oh, this is how it's played. And then
Mm-hmm.
I stopped watching because I thought, well, there's a chance that I might buy this.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to be spoiled on it because it's puzzles.
Yeah.
Once you know how to do the puzzle, you're spoiled on it. So I
Hmm.
didn't want to be spoiled on it. So I okay, go away. How do I close you? Okay. So I didn't want to be spoiled on, but I did play. I just wanted to let you know because you know how I am. I'm the kind of person that if you buy me a gift, if I do not show you that I am using the gift, I feel bad.
Hmm.
If the gift is sitting in a corner somewhere, I feel bad. So I always try to make sure that I use your gifts and that you see that I'm using your gifts because I do appreciate everything that you get me. I just feel bad if I don't get to it all right away.
You're good. I'm just glad that you like the game. I had a feeling it was going to be like sitting there for a while, so I'm surprised you got to it that fast.
So yeah, it's a game that is gonna be because I have another game. What is it? What is it? Renaissance Solitaire or
What?
not Renaissance. What's that? What is that time period that Jane Austen is in? I can't remember.
Oh, what Regency? No.
Regency, thank you. Regency
Okay.
Solitaire. I knew it started with an R. Regency Solitaire. I own Regency Solitaire, and I don't. I mean, I haven't made it all the way through, but I'm not mad that I haven't made it all the way through. It's one of those games where, oh, I just need to play a little puzzle right now. I'll pull this out and play it, and that's how
Hmm.
I feel about storytelling. It's like, oh, I'm in the mood for a puzzle. I'm going to pull this out and
Hmm.
play it. So it's not a thing
And the
where I want.
puzzles are so good.
Yeah, it's not a thing where I feel like, oh, I'm going to play it straight through. I want to just play, do a few puzzles, and then put it away, and then do a few puzzles and put it away. So that's how I play that kind of thing. Just like with the cat games,
Hmm.
I'm in the mood to search for some cats. I pull out a cat game and search for some cats. So,
Speaking of puzzle games, I did play like 2 seconds of a game while I was at work yesterday. I played a little bit more of oh, what's that game? Small Town Mysteries. What's that game? Tiny Town
Any Town
something
Mysteries, the one that we played on the iPad.
on the phone. Yeah, I had mine on my
Oh
phone.
yeah, on the phone. I forget you don't have an iPad, but yes,
Bruh,
I played it on an iPad.
I went to the next chapter. I think I'm on chapter like 3 or something. Oh, I've got still got eyeshadow on my face. I'm on chapter like 3 or something. Oh my goodness. It's like it's these puzzles do not feel super intuitive.
Uh-uh.
It's
No.
frustrating because it like you
That's
know
part of
when
why I got frustrated with it because I was like, you know what? No.
because it's the feeling is when you are like stuck in a puzzle and you get a hint or something, and then once you get the hint you're like, oh, that makes sense. Bruh,
Uh-huh.
I did it and I got a hint and I'm like, how was I supposed to figure that out? Like that,
Exactly.
this does not make sense.
Exactly.
It just feels like two things that like you would have figured out after like just trying a bunch of random stuff, but they don't feel connected, which is frustrating.
Yeah. Well, Storyteller, I thought Storyteller wasn't on sale, but Storyteller is on sale
Ooh,
because
oh
it,
wait, I don't have I don't have I
Steam,
don't have any. Yeah.
yeah, it's 11.99.
Oh, that's not bad
So,
though.
yeah, so it's only 20% off, but it fits into my I don't know if I've mentioned it on here before, but my thing is if it is on sale for less than $20, then there is a higher chance that I will consider buying it.
Mm.
Not It's not guaranteeing that I will buy it, but there's a higher chance that I will buy it if it is on sale for less than
Ooh.
$20.
My headphone died. Time for two. My headphone died. You continue talking, but I have to switch headphones.
Okay, well, I'm about to. Do you want me to wait before I start running through these games?
Yeah, vamp
Or
for like 2 seconds.
I will vamp for about 2 seconds then. Okay. But as I was saying, my goal, my deadline thing, not deadline. What's the word for it? My budget. My budget is less than $20. $20 or less is I am more than likely to try it. And if it goes down under $10, especially if it was an expensive game and it goes down under $10, there's really a high chance that I'll buy it. That's one of the reasons I mean, I do like hidden object puzzles, but that's also one of the reasons why I have so many of these games. Like, I commissioned some cats, and Cats in the Building 1, 2, and 3, and stuff like that, because those typically go on sale, and they're anywhere, even full price, they're usually like $3.99, because it's really artwork with some hidden pictures in it. Okay. And they're probably worth more than that, but they're typically on sale for $3.99. And because the artwork is good in most of these, so they're probably worth more than that. But it's $3.99. And if they go on sale, they're usually $1.99. Sometimes they're even 50 cents, depending on how many pictures are in them. So that's part of why I have several of those, because it is easy for me to pull the trigger on those and just buy, a whole collection of them when they have them on sale. So because I am cautious about spending money. So
I can't hear you. I don't know why it says that it's connected. I did the testing thing and and the testing sounds came out of my headphones, but your voice is not coming out of the headphones. I'm gonna leave and come back.
okay, cool beans. Cool beans. Um What else was I gonna say? I don't know. I don't know. I have a lot of games on. A um it was difficult for me to stick to my Steam games for this list, because I want, and just the games that were on sale, because I wanted to talk about a whole lot of games, not just the ones that were on sale. But I I tried to keep with the theme. So, can you hear me now?
I can't. I don't know what was
Okay,
going on. It
good.
was probably just because I was switching.
Yeah, that happens to us all the time. That happens to us all the time. So, as I said, I had a whole list of demos from all of the different sales. I so I We can just do. We've got about 30 minutes, so
Yep.
I'm going to try to do a speed round down through all my Steam stuff. Does that sound good?
Sounds good to me. Let's go.
Okay. The first one is Venba. Venba is, let me make sure I've added you back to the stream.
Venba.
There we go. Venba. Venba is like a visual novel with some puzzles. It is
Oh.
the planned release for this is the end of this month, July
Hmm.
31st. I don't know how much it's going to be, but that's the planned release date for it. It is it is set in the 1980s. It's about a family. um the demo that I played is just the husband and the wife.
Hmm.
Okay. And they have just moved to Canada, and it is the 1980s. And I mean, this is spoilerish, but basically all you get in the demo is that she's she's staying home from work, and they give you one puzzle in the demo to give you an idea of what it's about. And she, at the end of the demo, she has just discovered that she's pregnant. Okay,
Okay.
so you're seeing a kid in the video.
Not that spoilerish. There is a child.
Yeah, it's not that much of a spoiler, because there is a child already in the video. So she's going to have a child. But at the beginning of it is when they first moved to Canada, and they're deciding, should I stay? Should I go? And then she finds out she's pregnant. And so they decide, okay, we'll stay because it'll be a better life for our child.
Hmm.
And from what I'm guessing, because of what the description says, it says it's a short narrative cooking game where you play as an Indian mom who immigrates to Canada with her family in the 1980s. The So there's cooking, and the cooking puzzle that I did, it took me a minute to get it right. So
Ooh.
I can see, and I mean, it wasn't frustrating hard. It was just, okay, this is a little bit of a challenge because I stray away these days from straight visual novels because I feel like all I'm doing is click, read, click,
It's just
read,
a
click,
book with
read.
clicking.
Yeah, it's just a book with clicking and a little bit of pictures, and it's one sentence at a time. If I want to read a book, I'd like to have at least 5 sentences on the page first
Yeah.
before I have to click. That, and the writing in a lot of the visual novels is not enough to hold my attention.
Hmm.
So even though in theory I like the idea of a visual novel, but if it doesn't have any puzzles in it, I like there to be a narrative, but I also like there to be puzzles.
Hmm.
You're going to discover on this quick trip down here what kind of games I like and what kind of games I don't like. Okay, this next one, I'm gonna go straight down my list. I was gonna try to group them, but you know what? I'm just gonna go straight down my list. This next one is one, but I'm looking forward to Vimba, and if it's not terribly expensive when it comes out, I am going to buy it
Yeah, that
because
sounds fun.
I like that one. Okay. My A key and my Q key still don't work, so it may take a
Ooh,
minute for me to get stuff pulled up.
Ari coming in with the 22-minute warning.
Let's see. The next game is Micro Civilization. Okay, I saw um Geek Cupboard playing this, I think, and it was like, oh, this is interesting. Let me go see if it's on sale. And sure enough, it was. And so it is like it's a combination of a clicker game and a strategy game, like a management game where you have to
Hmm.
keep all the things balanced. This right here on the screen is how it starts. Okay, where you just have a tree and a little person. And then pretty soon more
Ooh.
people show up. And then you build some houses and you see how the houses are built up on the screen.
I
So
would fully get myself lost in this game. I would
so
fully immerse.
and there are so you have to build your economy. You have to make sure there's like a tech tree of different technologies that come into play. And then once you have certain technologies, then you can build like the different you see how the civilization is building up on
Hmm.
the screen. And I haven't even gotten that far because all I had was the demo. I haven't gotten that far. I was still down to see this part where they're still in the huts. That's where I was. And but I did not delete this demo because I want to go back and try again
Hmm.
because my people kept their huts kept getting burnt down because I couldn't figure out the thing of how to stop the fire from there's like these um disasters that come up on the screen, and if you
Hmm.
have built up enough defense against the disaster, then you can click and I don't know how to explain it, but like there's like a timeline that goes down, and if you click the thing before the timeline hits one of like this, see where it says air raid and
Oh,
the
I see.
timeline's going down. If you can click it before it hits some of your things on the bottom, because there's little points on the bottom, and if the timeline goes down and gets to a certain point, then 20 of your people have died. Then it
Oof.
goes to another certain point and 20 houses have burnt down. Then it gets to a certain another point and then 20 more of your people have died. And then
Hmm.
it's got those little timeline marks. But if you can attack the bar before it crawls down to those timeline points,
Then you can save
then
your people.
you can save your people because it's not going to hit them. And had trouble figuring it out, and I had to watch a couple videos, and I think I understand how to do it now. But because I was on somewhat of a timeline, I was trying to play all my other demos, and
Yeah.
it was very easy. I could have got sucked in and played this demo all weekend.
Oh, it looks like the kind of game that I could get sucked in and play all weekend.
So because you can, it's I think what they call it is an incremental clicker because you could
Hmm.
click it or there's certain things where you can set where it will automatically, like at first you have to click for the wood to be produced and you have to click for the food to be produced, but then
But the
once
ultimate goal is to get to a point where you don't have to click and it does it for you.
exactly, once you have enough people, enough civilization, then you can. So but it's different for me. It's different than other clicker games because I've played other clicker games where you get your civilization to a point, or you get it up to a point where it like clicks for you or it builds for you, but I didn't feel like I was doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas this, I always felt like I was doing something because you always have to like balance. Do I have enough people? Have they started? Because some things you still have to click for yourself. Like, are we going to go on to the next and learn how to mine coal or learn how to do this or learn how to do that? You know,
Mm-hmm.
there's still things for you to click and for you to manage. So it it gave me something to do, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, it looks and sounds fun.
So yes, I don't know how much that one's gonna be. Let me check. I can't remember if it's already out now. No, it's not going to release until the end of the year because it says Q4 of 2023, which means it'll be October, November sometime when it comes out. But I am gonna play. I know I haven't reached the end of the demo yet, so I'm gonna play the heck out of that demo until it tells me, okay, you're done. So that was one that I had to pull myself away from. Next one is Fall of Porcupine. This
Oh,
is,
I've not even heard of this.
I don't know how you haven't heard of this because it is one that all of
The
the
TikTokers,
the what's the word?
cozy gamers.
Cozy gamers, thank you. All the cozy gamers have been playing this demo. And so I gave it a shot and quite frankly I was bored.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, yeah, it's on sale for 16.99. It's normally $20. It's on sale for $17. It's 15% off. It's it combines a lot of things I don't do, and
Mm.
and plus it but then on the parts that I do, it was kind of boring. Oh, and this is showing it in German. It's not even showing it in English.
Ooh.
Um
Oh, but it looks so cute.
it is very cute. But like the parts where you think there would be a puzzle, it was kind of the puzzle was like too simple. It was almost no puzzle at all.
Mm-hmm.
And then there were other parts that were a bit of a side-scrolling platformer, like getting the guy to work, and it's like, I don't do platformers.
Mm.
Okay. That was the very first thing. I had to jump over stuff and to try
Ooh.
to and stuff to get him to work, and automatically, that's not my game.
Yeah, that is not the game for you.
If I have to jump over stuff, that is not my game.
Summer's gone by in the blink of an
Ooh,
eye.
this music. Goodness.
I didn't hear this music, so I maybe I should have turned my volume up or whatever, but
It's a fine line
oh,
between good
shut
times
up.
and memories. Just
Chloe, cut that out.
But and they keep talking about there's plenty of depth and it's cozy and all this other kind of stuff. See, I didn't get to any of this stuff. So maybe I should give it another try
Yeah.
because I got bored. Okay. There was
Mm-hmm.
like and I think like the only puzzles that I got to were like, oh, you have to treat the patient. And to treat the patient, you have to hit these different buttons. And the buttons were all on the left side of my keyboard, which we know doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
So there's like this A and D and whatever that, and I don't know if I was hitting them at the same time or not. It didn't tell me whether I succeeded or failed. It just said okay and then moved on.
So it may not be
Literally.
the game's fault. It may be that you need a new keyboard, like we've been saying for the past month and a half.
Oh, shut up. But literally it was just like, okay, it moved on. So I don't know if I hit it, but that is the game's fault because the game should tell me whether I failed it or passed it.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was another thing where we had to help. a guy find his cigarettes or something, and then it's like you walk to the three places he was, and then you get to the third place, and then it says, "Oh, here's his cigarettes," but it doesn't even show you picking up the cigarettes or nothing. And then
Mm,
you walk back to the place, and then the guy's like, "Oh, you found my cigarettes," and then it doesn't show you picking up anything or anything, which
mm-hmm.
was weird to me. So, I mean, there may be some depth or whatever to it. It's supposed to be about this guy who works at this hospital, and the the supervising doctor is kind of a jerk
Mm-hmm.
and yells at the interns. I think he's an intern or whatever, but yells at them. It says it's the collision of work and daily life, an exciting reflection of an unhealthy healthcare system. Experience the exciting story of Finley and his friends in a lovingly illustrated world and uncover the darkest secrets of Porcupine and its residents. So Porcupine is the name of the town.
Okay.
And it used to be a place where people came all the time, but now it's not so much. And so Fall of Porcupine is A, because the story is taking place in the fall of the year, and B, because it's kind of turning into a bit of a derelict town.
Okay.
So, but it's I maybe
It
I
just
should
was
try it
not for
again.
you.
Maybe I should try it again, but I think part of it, the danger of this kind of thing is that I'm on a time crunch to try as many things as I can so that I can talk to you guys on the
You don't really
video.
go very in
I
depth into
think
any of them.
sometimes I tried my best because I gave myself the whole Monday and Tuesday to do it, so I wouldn't feel like I was rushing. But I feel like I may abandon a game more quickly if I'm not enjoying it.
Yeah, since you know that you've got other games you need to try.
Yeah, so that was for Fall of Porcupine, but maybe I'll go back and look at it. I missed the Stray Gods demo because it was part of um
That's the one that's like the music.
the musical
Yeah,
video game. And
I want to play that one.
I
It
had
looks
downloaded
good.
the role-playing musical, they called it. I had
Mm,
downloaded that demo, but sometimes with Steam Next Fest and some of these other ones, they have the demo on a timer, and once the
mm,
Next Fest is over, the demo is over and you can't play it. And so that's the so it's planned for an August 3rd release. That was the case with this one. I didn't play the demo during the Next Fest, so the demo's gone. So,
dang.
sorry about that one. Um, Time on Frog Island. I tried to play the prologue of this and I had trouble um, understanding what was going on.
Oh,
And I tried to watch um, the prologue. This is one of those things where instead of just a demo, some of these companies put out what they're calling a prologue. So the prologue is always free.
uh huh.
And then if you want to buy the full game picks up the story
After the prologue.
after the free bit. Yes. And so I've had the prologue for a while, and I tried to play it, but I didn't understand what was going on, and I couldn't. It's one of those games where just like that game Pilgrims on Apple Arcade, I don't know if you're familiar with that game, but I don't know if you can see up on the screen, but like they don't talk. There's not even a
Oh.
it's all like a picture with a question mark or an exclamation point so you can know, okay, I'm looking for that or I'm thinking about that or whatever. But you kind of have to figure it out.
Mm,
And I walked all over that island and I couldn't figure out what I was supposed to be looking for. And so you know me, I am not afraid to try to watch a video and let somebody tell me so I can get over this hump. Because to me, games are to be enjoyed, and if you're stuck too long, you're not going to enjoy it, or at least I'm
yeah.
not. Okay, but the few videos I could find were people playing the actual game. So where they were in the game was not what the prologue showed. So I couldn't find any tips to get me past the prologue. But the plus side is the game is really cute.
Mm-hmm.
And the full game, Time on Frog Island, is on sale. It's 66% off right now. It is on sale for $6.79.
Oh my goodness.
So, if you watch a couple videos on YouTube and you think the game is cute, because it is really cute. If you think the art is cute, then, $6.79, give it a try.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It just wasn't, it wasn't for me because I just did not feel like working that hard. Um, okay, I know we got about 5 more minutes. Let's see how fast I can go. Okay. Trackline Express. I played this demo for 45 minutes.
Ooh.
I and I died several times, but I just like Micro Civilization, I had to pull myself away. I will be playing this game demo again, probably this weekend. Because it was fun. I love the art on Trackline Express. It's another management situation where it's like, okay, you have to pick up these things so that you can it starts you're on a train track. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's not out, it's not released, it's not even in early access yet. It's supposed to be released sometime this year, but they don't have a date. They don't even have like Q3 or Q4 or anything like that. But it is. Why are you not showing the gameplay
Yeah,
trailer? That's rude.
it's pitch black because I don't think I've heard of this game either.
Okay, there we go. Okay, the art is hella cute. Steam says that it recommends it for me because it's similar to Stacklands, which is a game I already own because I bought that for $2.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, you start out with the train. Okay, you see you have the quests up in the corner.
Yeah.
Okay, and you start out with the train, so you have to there's money on the ground. You pick up the money, you put it in your piggy bank, you put your piggy bank on the back of your train car there. Then you need to dig out some coal and put it into your train, right? And so that you can move your train up to the next stop on the line. You're trying to get from where you are to the very end of the line called the terminus.
Okay.
Okay, to the very end of the line. Okay, but you have to pick up coal, and every time you work, you use up water. That's your like health bar is water. Okay, so you have to go get water. But as you can see, those hatch marks around the outside, if you go into the hatch mark areas, then you immediately start to die.
Ooh. Okay.
So you have to buy a what's called a parcel to open up more of that land to let you go to turn more of that hatch mark section into like a plain section that you can walk on and not die.
Okay.
Okay. At night, you see sunrise is coming in a minute and 32 seconds because whenever night comes, you have about 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and night lasts about 2 or 3 minutes. All these enemies come, and you see
Mm.
the enemies with the exclamation points, and
Yes.
you need to try to defend yourself against the enemies. So you have to build a spear, you have to chop down wood to build the spear, you have to go get some rocks to build the spear.
So this sounds like Don't Starve.
I've never played Don't Starve, even though it's on
I thought
Apple
that you had.
Arcade. Do Don't Starve is on Apple Arcade, and it's one of those things where it's like I know it's there, so I haven't tried it yet. You know how I am
Okay.
about
Yeah.
delayed gratification. Not delayed gratification, but like if I know something is there and I know it's going to be there a while, I'm not in a rush,
Mm-hmm.
which I should be because things get taken off of Apple Arcade all the time.
Yeah. You
So
should try Don't
I
Starve.
should go ahead and play it. But I've also been put off by the fact that I know Don't Starve has a lot of different DLC and stuff if I play it on Steam, but you don't have that if you play it on Apple Arcade. So I'm like, should I buy it on
Mommy,
Steam or should I play it on
you
Apple
should try it
Arcade?
because I don't even know if you'll get to the stuff that the DLC accesses. Don't Starve is a I
Difficult?
yes, I like Don't Starve because I like it goes from you're okay, you're okay, you're okay. It's like when you're riding a roller coaster and like you're going up and like things are okay, and then you hit the precipice of the roller coaster and it's just like
Uh-huh.
so
Uh-huh.
fast downhill. That is Don't Starve. Don't Starve is a roller coaster of things are fine, things are fine, things are fine. One thing goes wrong and you're like scrambling.
Yeah. But yeah, Track On Express, I played that for 45 minutes because I kept dying.
Hmm.
I died several times and I had to pull myself away from that game because it's like, okay, I have other games I need to play. I already can see that I like this one. So far on the list of what I'm going back to is Micro Civilization and Track On Express. I'm going to play those demos right away. Then, but I still have to wait to buy. Um, okay, it's 4:30. I still have one, two, three, four games left on my list.
This is what I've got going on so far. I did
Oh,
some
so
flowers.
pretty,
Thank you.
pretty, pretty. So are we ready to because Ari is saying time is up. Are we
Yeah,
ready?
my headphones are also dying. So let's do that and then I can talk to y'all on the speakers in the Discord. Don't forget everybody, we have a Discord. Can you minimize this game?
What are you don't want to see my pretty game?
We saw your pretty game. What are you talking about?
I'm kidding. But well, thank you guys. I know this is an abbreviated chat for us. We are 2 hours right on the dot.
Mm-hmm.
This is an abbreviated chat for us, but we appreciate you coming to hang with us. We appreciate you letting us keep you company on this hot in the USA Friday. And if you made it this far and you are enjoying this on the YouTube video itself, not in the live chat, but on the YouTube video itself, in the comments, you can leave us what should they
What
leave us?
emoji?
What should they
Um,
leave us?
Maybe a controller emoji for video games?
Yes, because we talked about a lot of games. So leave a controller emoji or whatever emoji
Equivalent?
equates video games in the emoji world. Because
Mm.
I don't know what emojis are there for
I think
video.
there's like a controller and then like a joystick.
Either one would be good. Because I did use a controller this weekend, believe it or not. I'm not a controller gal, but I did use a controller. And it turned out I hated the game, but that's another story. Uh, I finally got to where I could use the controller and I was comfortable with it. Didn't like
Uh-huh.
didn't like the game. But,
Ridiculous.
but anyway, thank you for hanging with us. We will see you next week. Next week is going to be all about the TV and music and books that we've been consuming, as well as
Mhm.
our usual crafty thoughts and life updates. So we hope we will see you then.
Bye. Go join
Bye.
the Discord.
See ya. Bye.
All right. I gotta finish my face so I can get out of here.